in this video, you are going to look at lists. So I'm going to create list.py over here. I'll start off with a brief definition of what a list is. So this is a brief description of what a list is. So basically, a list is a collection of different data types that are ordered and mutable. So there are some keywords over here. It is a collection of same or different data types. So you can have a list of the same data types, let's say ints or strings or floats, and it can be a combination of such two. Okay, so you can have a list of a combination of ints and floats and things of that sort. And the order in which the items appear in the list is very important. Okay, so they are ordered and they are mutable. Mutable simply means they can change one way or the other. Now, list allows duplicate members or elements. So what we are going to do is we are going to declare a list. So let's say we have numbers. Now, in order to declare or to have a list, we are just going to put out the square brackets. Okay, so the square brackets will signify that this is actually a list. So in order to do that, you can just do, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, so this is what we refer to as a list. So we can actually print the type. We can actually print the type of numbers as we have it over here. And if you run this, we are going to see that this is of a class list. Okay, so this numbers we have over here is a list. Now the key catch over here is, as far as list is concerned, the most important thing is it has to be in a square bracket. So anything in a square bracket is a list. All right, so let me also show you this. Now remember, in the definition we said it can be same or different. So as we have it over here, these are same data types. Okay, so you can actually have a list which includes Ken. Okay, so these are numbers or these are integers, and this is a string. Okay, we can also have a boolean data type which is true. You can also have a float. Okay, and if we should save this and run this program once again, we still have this as a list. Okay, nothing has changed. And if we are to print the list out itself, let me clear this over here. If you are to print the list out itself, you are going to see these printed out over here. So this is a list. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to comment these ones out, and we are going to see some few things over here. So now let's have a variable called colors. Okay, and colors is actually going to be a list. So I'm going to put out some colors in here. So I'm going to say blue, I'll say red, and I'll say yellow. Then finally, I'll say brown. All right, so this is a list. And once again, the moment we have this square bracket, it is a list. So we can actually do some kind of manipulation in here. Now we can do a printing of the color list over here. So let me clear this one over here. And if you are to print this out, you are going to see the entire list being printed out over here. But remember what we did with string as far as printing a specific element within a string based on the index. We can also apply that same concept over here. So as far as the indexing is concerned, we can put out a square bracket over here, and if you are to print index 0, once again the counting starts from 0. So blue is going to be 0, red is going to be 1, yellow is going to be 3, and brown is going to be 4. So if I'm to print this one out, you are going to see blue over here. Now if I am to print -1, remember with string the -1 is going to be the last element within the list. So once again, let me clear this one up over here, and if you are to print this one out, you are going to see brown over here. Now we can also print a range. So we can start from index 0 and let's say end with index 3. So over here 0 is going to be printed, 1 is going to be printed, 2 is going to be printed, but then 3 is not going to be printed. So you are going to have blue, red, and yellow being printed out over here. So we have blue, red, and yellow. All right, so these are some of the things we dealt with as far as strings are concerned. We can apply those things over here too. Now, what I'm going to show you next is we can actually do an assignment. Okay, so we can, and this gives meaning to the fact that lists are mutable. So let's say we have colors. Okay, then we pass in an index 0. So what we can do is we can say black. Remember, you don't have black in here yet. Okay, so when I save this, and if I come down to come and print the list colors. So once again, let me clear this up over here. If I'm to print the list colors over here, now you can see that the first index we had over here originally was blue, okay, but now it has been replaced with black, okay, and that's where the mutability comes in. So we are changing things in there, okay. So as far as list is concerned, we can change things, but with other data types that we'll be looking at, we may not be able to, or we cannot change the items in there. So we are going to look at some of the list methods. So we are going to maintain this colors over here, and we are going to work with colors. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to comment these ones out, and I'll just push them down. All right, so what we can do is we can do an append. Okay, so an append is actually going to add an item to the lists. So let's say we have colors.append. Okay, let me say append, small letters append. All right, so for colors.append, then what do we want to append? We want to append the color white. Okay, we want to append the color white. So if we should print out, we have to print out colors over here. Now white is going to be added to the list. So let me clear this over here. White is going to be added to the list. So you can see that white has been added to the last index. Okay, it's very important. Now, as far as adding things to the list is concerned, there are two different kinds. Okay, so append is one of them. The next one we are going to look at is the insert, and the insert is a little bit different from the append. So we are going to look at the insert method, and for the insert, we are going to insert an item to a particular index, okay, of the list. So to a particular index of the list, we can do colors dot insert. So for colors dot insert, the first parameter we pass in is the index. Okay, so we need to first of all pass the index. So the index, let's say we have index 2, and what do we want to insert in that particular index? We want to insert the color orange. So when we save this, and once again we are printing colors over here. Now first of all, let me clear this. So this is the original list we have over here. We have blue, red, yellow, and brown. And as far as this is concerned, this is index 0, this is 1, this is 2. Okay, so 2 is yellow. Now with what we've done over here, we want to put orange over here. That means it's going to shift. It is not going to take away yellow, but then it's going to shift. Yellow is now going to shift to an index of 3, and brown is also going to shift to an index of 4. So if I am to save this and run this, that's clearly what you have over here. So you have blue, we have red, yellow, orange, yellow, and brown in that particular order. So that's basically the differences between the append method and the insert method. As far as the append is concerned, we only add to the last index, but then with regards to the insert, we specify the index as well. So that's with that. Now let's look at how we can remove an item from the list. So we are going to look at the pop. So pop is used to remove items the list. All right, so as far as removing items are concerned, there are also several ways. So we are going to look at the pop. Now, with the pop, let me kind of copy this and bring it up over here so that we kind of stay with the list. And let me also grab this and bring it over here. So Control V. All right. So once again, let me clear this up over here. So with the pop, we can do colors dot pop, right? So when you do colors dot pop and we come and print colors over here like we have over here, so the pop is actually going to remove the last item in the list. Okay, so the last item you have over here is brown. So if I'm to save this and run this program, now you can see that brown has been removed from the list. So we now have blue, red, and yellow. Now if we pass an index inside the pop, okay, if you pass in an argument over here, and let's say we pass in 0, what this basically means, yes, we want to remove, but then we are specifying an index. So in this case, it's not just going to remove the last one, but then it's going to remove corresponding to the index we passed over here, which is 0. So if I'm to save this and run this program, in this instance, we now have blue being taken off and brown is back because we haven't typed brown yet. So that's with the remove using pop. So let me comment this one out as well. Let me clear this. And the next one, we are going to look at the remove method itself. So let's look at colors.remove and let's do remove. And as far as remove is concerned, we need to pass in exactly what we want to remove. So let's say we want to remove blue in there. So if you run this, you can clearly see that blue has been taken off from the list. All right. You can also pass in red if we are to pass in red. And first of all, let me clear this. You can see that we don't have red in our list over here. So that's with the remove. So we have two types. We have the pop and we specify the index, or we use the remove and passing the list item itself. Now the next one that we are going to look at is the reverse. And as far as the reverse is concerned, in order to give real meaning to it, let me have okay, so this one will actually work. Let me look at the reverse. So we have colors dot reverse. So we have colors dot reverse, and if we leave it like that and just print this one out, let me clear this. We are going to see some reversal. Okay, so it is going to print the colors reverse. Okay, it's actually going to reverse the order in which we listed them out over here. Okay, so the order has been changed, or it has been reversed. So what we have over here, blue, red, yellow, brown. Now we have brown, yellow, red, blue. So there has been a reversal of the order. Now the next one that we are going to look at is the sort method. So let's look at colors dot sort, and this is actually going to sort things in alphabetical order or in ascending order. Okay, so if I'm to leave it out this way and clear this, and if I'm to run this program now, it's going to sort things in alphabetical order. Okay, so clearly we have blue, and as far as B is concerned, we have BL comes in before BR, and that's what we have over here. So we have BB and we have red, and obviously yellow is going to be the last one over here. So that's with the sort. So it sorts in alphabetical order. Now you can also sort in the reverse order. Okay, so instead of sorting, let's say descending order, we can sort ascending order and things of that sort. And that's when we pass in a parameter reverse and we say true. So if we do a reverse of true over here, I think the spelling is wrong, so let's say reverse. All right, so when we do a reverse of true over here, what is going to happen is it's actually going to sort in the opposite direction. So you're going to have yellow starting and things of that sort. So if I'm to print this one out, clearly we can see that we have yellow, red, brown, and blue. Okay, so it has reversed this particular order. Now, in order to see this very well, that's why I wanted to use numbers, because numbers is going to make it very simple for us. So let's say we have another list of numbers, and with numbers we have let's say just use simple numbers, random. All right, so we have it this way, and we want to do the sorting. Okay, so if we are to do numbers dot sorts and pass in numbers over here. Now, first of all, let's do the default sorting as we have it over here. So the default sorting is going to sort in ascending order. So you are going to have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 8. So if I'm to run this, and that's exactly what you have. You have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 8. Okay. Now, if I'm to do a reverse, okay, and I say reverse is true, that means it's going to do it in a descending order. So what we have over here is an ascending order. When we run this, we are going to see this in a descending order. So you start from the biggest to the smallest, and that's with the sort method. Now we can also apply what we call the clear method. So we can, let's say we have colors. We have colors.clear. And if your guess is as good as mine, the clear method is actually going to clear everything in the color list. Okay, it's going to take everything away. So when we run this, it's actually going to return okay, so let me print colors over here. So if I print colors over here, once again, let me clear this. If I print colors over here and run this, now we have an empty list over here because we've cleared everything. This is actually one of the methods we can use to remove items. Okay, but in this case, we are basically clearing everything. So as far as the remove is concerned, or taking away items from the list is concerned, we have the remove, we have the clear, and we have the pop as well. The pop, we pop things using their index. Okay, so if we want to pop a particular item out, we pop and pass in the index as a parameter. If we leave it blank, it's going to pop the last item. With a remove, we use remove to take away an item from the list by also passing in the name of the item itself. And with the clear, we take away everything outside it. So basically, these are methods as far as list is concerned.